What's going on, everybody? Hey, look, man, I got something special for y'all tonight, man. Y'all know we've been doing Check the Rock interviews, a little bit of everything, but see, check it out. Tonight we got a special edition. All right, we'll try and do these like once a month or something like that. But coming up, I got some guys, man. These guys that I got one guy that say he the GOAT, and I got another guy that say he do this for real. All right. So introducing the first guy. This is a guy I met a couple weeks ago, man. You know, he got some very interesting takes, man. He got his joint in the huddle podcast. My guy, Real Leel. What's going on?
What it do?
Real
What it
Leel,
do?
what's going on, man?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm happy to be here. You feel me? I'm happy to see that there's other people like myself navigating through this sports journey, the sports media journey. So I'm ready to set it off like Jada Pickett up in his mug.
Set it off, set it off. He said like Jada Pickett. All right, hey. I
I
feel you.
actually I might have to go Queen Latifah because Jada Pickett been getting on my cotton picking nerves lately. You know what I'm saying? So it might be Queen Latifah up in his mug.
Might be Queen Latifah. All right, hey, you see
Or
it up there,
King
man.
or King Latifah because I gotta represent. I'm a guy. You feel me? So King Latifah up in his mug.
Got you. Like I say, in the huddle podcast on Instagram, Real Leel
Yes, sir.
_TV, and on Twitter, Real _Leel _TV. So make sure y'all check my guy out in the huddle podcast. All right, man. And so I got another guy, man. You know what I'm saying? He called himself the GOAT. He got the referee shirt on right now. He's probably the worst referee I've ever seen before. But he's a great sports debater. We got my guy, Mr. I'm Rich.
You know what it is, though. You know what it is, man. Somebody better, hey, bro. You might get what you want, but you ain't gonna want what you get. That's how it's going down, though. We can get it on, Tyree. They know who I am, bro. If they watching your channel, they know who I am.
Saying, you see it up there, Sports Reporter Without Pay 1. I mean, SRWOP1 on Twitter, on Facebook, Sports Reporter Without Pay. Not Instagram, I'm sorry. YouTube, Sports Reporter Without Pay as well. So, I don't know, man. Maybe my guy gets some pay one day.
One day.
But today ain't that day. All right. So, this first topic we got coming up, man. You know what I'm saying? This is position I played. Well, I ain't really played this position, but whatever, man. This is a position I always wanted to play. So we got top 5 wide receivers all time. My guy, Real Leel, give me your top 5 list and explain to me why it's your top 5 list, man.
Okay, to set it off. At number 5, I'm gonna go with my guy, Mr. Megatron, Calvin Johnson at number 5. Look. A lot of my list was basically eye test, dominance, and I would say achievements is more so, on the faded to I don't use side. Obviously, achievements going to help you out here, especially when you go higher in my top 5. But if we talking about physical dominance, I mean, look no further than my guy, Calvin Johnson. They was triple teaming my guy, triple teaming this dude. All right, triple team, and he still will catch a jump ball. Listen, it's unfortunate that he plays for one of the worst franchises in professional sports, Detroit Lions. I mean, who are we kidding? We saw the evidence. Matthew Stafford leaves there. Okay, this guy was 0-3 in playoffs. He leaves there first year Super Bowl. I mean, come on. If you tell me that doesn't put a dent in dysfunctional organizations, Barry Sanders retired too early. Okay, all these greats retiring too early because they play for the Detroit Lions, and I ain't lying. I like my guy, Calvin Johnson. You cannot guard this man 101. He's a physical specimen. And that's what? You won't be in his resident. You don't want to be in his resident. The guy will catch it over you. He would do all the little nuances that you want as a wide receiver. He's your build-the-bear wide receiver. I like him at number 5. Now I'm going to speed things up a little bit. At number 4, I'm going Chris Carter. Minnesota Vikings. I think he's one of my underrated wide receivers. I don't think nobody talk about him like that when it comes to top 5. And I think it's utterly ridiculous. Okay. This guy literally has a catch radius unlike any other. He could do you vertically. Listen, the Minnesota Vikings quarterback situation was a little bit tricky. They were shuffling quarterbacks, you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature. But you had Randy Moss and Chris Carter on the same team. Literally the best wide receiver duo that I know of. Okay, a lot of people want to throw Marvin Harrison over there, but nah, I'm good. And what's my other dude? Reggie White. Not Reggie White, Reggie Wayne. Nah, I'm taking Randy Moss and Chris Carter, and Chris Carter was a dog in his prime. Nobody talks about him. We should be talking about him a little bit more. At number 3, I'm going to go T.O. What more do I need to say? The guy played in the Super Bowl with a broken leg, literally, and had 9 receptions for 100 plus yards. Okay, that's not normal. I broke my leg before, twice. Okay, both legs. I was screaming my head off. You would have thought I was in a Jigsaw movie. Okay, I don't know how the hell he did that and was that productive in a daggone Super Bowl with a broken leg. Also, one of my highlight plays that he made was against the Packers. I believe it was like 6 seconds left, and he caught the ball, contested catcher between 2 defenders, got whacked, and still held on to the ball. I mean, plays like that define legacy. I like T.O. at number 3. And number 2, I'm going to go with my guy Hands. I call him Hands. Randy Moss. Catch everything in sight. He go out there in the dark pitch black, down south, catch 40. Okay, this guy is the real deal. I was tempted to put him number 1 just off the eye test because, look, sometimes I do want to go with the best people that I seen instead of going like, way back in the day. But Randy Moss was a dude. And that year, 2007, when he played with the greatest quarterback of all time, my guy Tom Brady, who you see on my wall, I will never forget that year. 23 touchdowns. And there's one play in particular that I want to go to because nobody talks about this play. It was a play where he caught the ball over Darrelle Revis one-handed, and he tore his daggone hamstring. This was Revis in his prime, the Revis Island. He tore his hamstring and caught it with one hand. Moss the hell out of dude. This dude, I know, he didn't always, have the greatest seasons every single year. The Oakland stint was a little bit shaky, but he came and rejuvenated his career. And listen, I thought he ended on a high note. Randy Moss is my guy. I call him Mr. Hands. I got him at number 2. You got Moss. At number 1, I'm going to go with Jerry Rice. At number 1, look, I cannot not go with him. I mean, the guy, when you talk about his 30s was better than his 20s. Okay, when you talk about his 30s, right? I believe he had like 5 1,000-yard receiving numbers as I get my stats over here. Yeah, he had 3 seasons with over 1,100 yards and 6 seasons over 800 yards when he got to 35. His dominance, okay, outside of his prime, it's what does it for me. It's one thing to be dominant in your prime, but your longevity could put you over the top. That's why he's number 1. So to recap my list, at number 5, I'm going with Calvin Johnson. At number 4, I'm going with Chris Carter. At number 3, I'm going with T.O. I'm going with 2, Randy Moss. And number 1, I'm going with Jerry Rice. Lil Shadamas.
All right, so you heard him recap his list. At number 5, Calvin Johnson. 4, Chris Carter. 3, Terrell Owens. 2, Randy Moss. Number 1, the GOAT. The guy, at least the guy I consider the GOAT, even though you ain't putting no respect on my guy T.O.'s name. All right, I'm going to kick it to the guy that called himself the GOAT. Mr. Referee, blow the whistle.
I mean, if you ask anybody, who their top 5 receivers are, you're going to hear a lot of the same names, right? Like I'm listening to his list and we got 4 out of 5 of the same people, just a very different order. Somebody get Chris Carter out of here. He doesn't belong in this conversation. He ain't cut like that. It's probably 4, 5 more dudes I'd have got to before I got to Chris Carter, including Antonio Brown. There's a lot of people I'd have got to before Chris Carter. But we going I'm bugging. You better go check Antonio Brown record. You better go check. You was talking about numbers. You better go check what Antonio Brown did over a 5-6 year stretch. Chris Carter ain't never been that.
So he wasn't. Who was his quarterback? A Hall of Famer, right? A Super Bowl winning champion, right? And he played with Le'Veon Bell, right? That was the best running back in football, right?
You talking about Ben Roethlisberger? Show me Ben Roethlisberger's numbers outside the years AB played there.
I'll show you his rings, though.
Show me Ben. Don't talk about rings because it's a team accomplishment. You just said Tom Brady was the GOAT and all that. You said Randy Moss did this with Tom Brady. Randy Moss went to Minnesota and was just fine. Just fine in Minnesota.
That's why he's number 2.
In Minnesota. Right. But we talking about Chris Carter, who has no business being mentioned with these type of guys. Let's start with number 5, Larry Fitzgerald, who gets no respect. I don't even know what the stat is. He got some kind of crazy, insane stat where like he dropped less than 2% of his passes thrown at him or something crazy like that. Year in, year out, go out, be productive, can run every route, can do it all. Like Larry Fitzgerald, number 5. Number 4 through 1 is 4 the same guys. You got just different order. This the one that's gonna shock everybody. And number 4, Jerry Rice. He ain't better than none of them guys at 3, 2, and 1. He ain't better than none of those guys in 3, 2, and 1. I don't evaluate football players like I evaluate basketball players. If we talking about basketball and you go, oh, this guy got this many rings, this guy did this, he did that. And a basketball in a 5-on-5 sport where one guy got to play both sides, one guy can change the outcome of games. In football, it's the ultimate team game. Go back and look at the 49ers in the 80s. Jerry Rice was great. Joe Montana was great. Go look at that defense. Top 5 defense every time they won a Super Bowl. Nobody talks about that. We just talked about how great Megatron is, but he don't get the credit. Why? Because and I don't know if you knew for you came on this show that I'm a Lions fan, sir. But we not doing that no more. we not doing that no more.
He ain't
know.
Listen.
He ain't know.
I think I forgot to make myself clear with my own 2 eyes, not yours, brother.
I don't even know what that means. What are you talking about?
With my own 2 eyes, this is my top 5. With my own 2 eyes.
But listen, I'm not even discrediting your top 5. I was talking about the shots you fired at my Lions. I said, I don't know if you knew before you started that I'm a Lions fan and you was talking crazy.
No, but I feel sorry for you now. Now I feel sorry.
Don't feel sorry for me. Feel sorry for yourself. You will after this is over with. Jerry
we'll see
Rice,
about
though. I got Jerry Rice at 4th. Like, super talented, man. Jerry Rice is great. Like, his resume speaks for himself, right? But when you talk about just the talent perspective, like you said, that eye test, guys I see in my eyes, he's not better than none of these next 3 guys. I got Moss at number 3. I have Moss at number 3 behind T.O. because Moss was famous for one route, right? Like, go route, 9. That's what Moss gonna give you. Moss not running across the middle. Moss not moving the chains. Moss is running, and he was the best at it, right? You got Moss. They named it after him. Nobody had his combination of speed, leaping ability, and hands, right? That's Moss. T.O. at number 2. Second most complete receiver I've ever seen. Like, when T.O. came along, we hadn't saw a guy with his type of build, with that kind of speed, those kind of hands, can run the go route, can run across, can run the slant. Like, T.O. could do everything. He was physical. You talked about when he went to Philly, when he played in the Super Bowl on the broken leg, he was tough. I think he don't get the credit he deserves from a lot of the media and fans because of the narrative that was put out there, because his personality, because he was, a locker room problem, as they said. So I don't think T.O. get the respect he quite deserves. Most people have him in their top 5, but I got him at 2. And number 1, and this is not being a homer, you ain't never in your life seen a receiver more talented than Megatron. It's really easy. Like, again, just like Barry Sanders, we in Detroit forced an all-time great to retire early. But when if you was drafted right now today, and they say you get to pick one receiver, everybody list should start with Megatron.
Terrell Owens.
He ain't no Megatron. I had him too as the second most complete receiver I've seen. Megatron, from like a strength standpoint, gave you what T.O. gave you. Speed-wise and height-wise, he gave you what Moss gave you. Hands-wise, like this dude was so, you can't name a weakness for Calvin Johnson besides he played in Detroit. He didn't have a weakness. There's not a weakness in his game. So that's my top 5. I got Larry Fitzgerald at 5, Jerry Rice at 4, Moss at 3, T.O. at 2, Calvin Johnson at 1. That's my top 5.
Got you. Real Leel. I'm gonna give you a chance to rebuttal his list. Go ahead.
I mean, it's not a rebuttal if you don't bring your guy from the huddle. Let's start off there. Okay, let's start off with, first off, I want to start off with a compliment, because even though I don't agree with Calvin Johnson, at number 1, I would say that I do like the creativity, because sometimes we do go off achievement. So I like the fact that with your own 2 eyes, just like how I'm doing it, you see Calvin Johnson as the best wide receiver of all time. Now, with that being said, I do want to go back to the Jerry Rice thing when you got him at number 4. I think the fact that he was able to put up numbers, and yes, numbers is not everything, and accolades is not everything, and stats is not everything, but it's how he did it and what era he did it. When you talk about the ground and pound days of the National Football League to right now where everybody's passing, I could just only imagine, right, with my own imagination, Jerry Rice in this era right now doing exactly what he did and probably taking it up a notch. There's some like stats that can never be touched. That means something. When somebody cannot touch your stats, that has to mean a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? And right now, nobody touching Jerry Rice.
Got you. Anything you want to say back, Ray, before we move on?
Do I have to start all my sentences with like a riddle or a rhyme? Do I have to do that?
I mean, that's that's.
I want to make the show entertaining, man. I want to bring my rebuttal from the huddle.
I mean, he from New York, home of the rhyme.
So
now you see, New York, we swagged out. We known for the swag, so you see it on the mic.
I ain't mad at it. So, listen, man. Like all lists are subjective, right? Unless it's something outlandish, right? When you get to those top 4 guys, man. And I say this about basketball too. You talking about hundreds and thousands of people that have played this game, and then we get to nitpick and arguing over the top 4. We both had the same top 4 guys, right? Just a different order. A lot of people think it's outlandish to have Rice not first. I just don't. I mean, I've seen these guys, bro. Like Rice wasn't what them guys was. You put Megatron, you put T.O., you put Moss, and that West Coast offense with Joe Montana and that stout defense they had is going to keep giving you the ball back. Okay, that's kind of we saw what Randy Moss did when Randy Moss was having a good career, and then he got with a great quarterback and did what? Broke all kind of records, right? We never saw T.O. play with an elite quarterback. Steve Young, briefly, right? Like T.O. never played with a guy of that caliber.
You don't like Campbell Soup?
That's what I'm saying. Like Donovan McNabb is the best quarterback he played with. And you're going to name 35, 40 quarterbacks before you even think about Donovan McNabb when you talk about the history of the game, right? And T.O. still had a Hall of Fame, widely recognized as a top 5 guy, right? When you look at the top 5 guys, when we talking Randy Moss, when we talking T.O., when we talking Calvin Johnson, when we talking Jerry Rice is the only guy that you're going to connect to an all-time great quarterback. And that don't take away from his greatness. I'm simply saying those guys did it with way less and were just as productive. He did it longer, but I mean, again, the only it got to be outlandish for me to trip, like having Chris Carter in the he out of here. He don't belong. Chris Carter ain't better than AB.
Chris Carter, not wow. All right, so
how'd you say wow, Tyree?
I just look at it like this. This is just my opinion on the matter, right? And I'm going to take it back to Jerry Rice. To me, what makes Jerry Rice so impressive is the fact that he doesn't have a lot the things that a lot of these guys have. He's not a, T.O. Moss fast guys, right? Calvin Johnson too. He's not a freakish like Calvin Johnson is just, how tall is Calvin Johnson? 6'4", 6'5"? I mean, he's huge, fast, can jump. Randy Moss, 6'4", 6'5". T.O. looks like a freaking what you call it? Not a baby doll, but he looks like a freaking action figure.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, with Jerry Rice, it's impressive that he could put up the numbers that he put up, and he doesn't have all that stuff. But I mean, I definitely respect both you guys' list. I mean, my personal list would be Jerry at 1, T.O. at 2, Randy at 3, Calvin at 4, and 5. I do like Larry Fitzgerald. I can't really think of anybody else but I pretty much have the same list you have. It just would be in a different order. But
where would you have Chris Carter?
He wouldn't be in my top 5. But I mean, but he's
top 10 either.
He would. I mean, he's. If I'm not mistaken, he's one of a few guys that has 1,000 catches. I remember when he got the 1,000 catches, that was a big thing. I mean, I think he's in the top 10.
He better be in the top 10.
But like I say, man,
guys, 4th all time in receiving touchdowns. I mean, what are we talking here?
Hey, got you. So look, we're gonna move this. We're gonna move this right along to the next topic, man. We're gonna get into something else. So my guy, Leel, went first last round. So you're gonna go first this round, Lynn. Top 10 QBs going into the 2022 season.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm passionate about this one. This is the one I'm most passionate about. But go ahead, brother. It's your time.
I'll try not to be too long-winded with each guy, because some guys don't need any explanation. So starting at number 10, gonna come as a shocker to some people. But the last time we saw this, guys, I said on last night's show, I did. All he did was his team got rid of his best receiver, and he went out and completed 70% of his passes and threw for almost 5,000 yards and you can't name who his top receiver was. And he got something to prove, and he's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder. So after them 6 games is up at number 10, I got Deshaun Watson. Number 9, Cool Joe, right? I think a lot of people are going to start to overrate him. I mean, I have him in my top 10, but I think a lot of people are going to start to overrate him because we as fans do that whole Super Bowl thing, right? Like, like one Super Bowl. Like, it could be a flash in the pan. It's yet to be seen. But just far as his on the field play, it can't be denied. Dude is nice. I got Joe Burrow at 10th. I mean, at 9th. Coming in at number 8, I have his draft classmate, Justin Herbert. I have him slightly more talented than him. Again, a lot of fans do the whole judging quarterbacks on wins and losses thing. Nobody's going to talk about the fact that the Chargers were a bad coaching call away from going to the playoffs. And they'd have been in the same position to try to make a run just like Cincinnati was. But we all saw the whole timeout situation, Chargers versus the Raiders. So anyway, I have Herbert slightly ahead of Burrow. Number 7, guy that just made that move over to the AFC, Mr. Russell Wilson himself. Mr. Consistency, the guy that comes in year out, always an MVP candidate, but never wins it. Always throw for a lot of yards, but never he's not going to be number 1 in the league. Always going to have a high completion percentage. Always going to take care of the ball, right? I think he has the second highest, touchdown to turnover ratio behind A-Rod. Is something crazy. High pass rate. He's always going to perform, and he's always going to be good. Like, you don't have to worry about Russell Wilson being bad, right? So I have him at number 7. Number 6, Father Time started catching up with us all, but to be number 6 on the list, ain't no shame in that. I got the great Tom Brady. I think we started seeing those signs last year of him slowing down, and even for him, slowing down is still great. Like, he's that great that slowing down still puts him among the upper echelon of quarterbacks. Number 5 is going to shock a lot of people. Like, if you know me and know how hard of a time I give this guy, like, I can't stand how he plays the game. I don't think he is a good thrower of the football. In fact, I think he's an awful thrower of the football. But I was asked to give my top 10 quarterbacks. And when you put this guy under center, you have a very good chance at winning football games. Lamar Jackson at number 5. Like, I think he has so much work to do. I think there are so many flaws in his game, but what he does well, he does extremely well. And his team game plans to put him in the best position to do the things he does well. So I have Lamar Jackson, number 5. Number 4, not a homer pick. I've been telling y'all he's been this good all this time. As my man stated earlier, you got him out of Detroit, and what did he do? He delivered a Super Bowl. Matt Stafford. No, it's not a joke. It's for real. I've been telling y'all how good Matt Stafford is for the last, 10 years. But when you're in Detroit and you don't win games and the whole world judges quarterbacks off wins and losses, they act like you some kind of bum. And then they put you in a good situation with good players around you. And what do? You win a Super Bowl. And your first opportunity away from what we call a franchise. I got Matt Stafford at number 4. Number 3, Josh Allen. He is trying to close that gap on these top 2 guys. He's now thrust himself into the elite conversation. That game last year with Kansas City versus Buffalo is living proof why we as fans, why we as media have to stop just looking at the win and loss column. Josh Allen did everything right in that game. He did everything he was supposed to do to win that football game. Patrick Mahomes did everything he was supposed to do to win that football game. The game came down to who was going to get the ball. A coin flip decided who won that game. It wasn't they both did what they were supposed to do, but it wasn't lack on either of their parts. So Josh Allen very well could have been in the Super Bowl. Had the coin flip went the other way because KC wasn't going to stop them. But I have Josh Allen at number 3. Aaron Rodgers, no explanation needed. Aaron Rodgers, you know what you can expect every year. You can expect 4,500 yards. You can expect 40 to 45 touchdowns. You can expect less than 10 interceptions. You can expect him to be in an MVP conversation, and you can expect Green Bay to win 12 to 15 games. Like, that's what you can expect every single year from Mr. Discount Double Check. And at number 1, I don't even think it's relatively close. Aaron Rodgers is great. Tom Brady is great. Josh Allen just showed he is phenomenal. And I think Patrick Mahomes is so far ahead of the rest of the field. Like, he is that good. Y'all talk about wins and losses. A guy who, since he became the starter, his basement has been the AFC Championship game. Let that sink in for a second. He started 4 years, and he's never went less than the AFC Championship game. Mahomes, man, he the real deal. Like, that's a dude you can pencil in for 303 touchdowns every single game. That's my list.
Got you. All right. I like that list. I'm going to recap it real quick. Got Deshaun Watson at 10, Joe Burrow at 9, Justin Herbert at 8, Russell Wilson at 7, Tom Brady at 6, Lamar Action Jackson at 5, Matthew Stafford at 4, Josh Allen at 3, Aaron Rodgers at 2, Pat Mahomes at 1. Oh, my. So what you got for me, real Leel? Because I know your list is different.
Oh, it's totally different. Let's get to it.
Right,
at number 10. At number 10, right? And I did the whole 32, but we're going to go 10 here. I does this. All right, at number 10, I'm going to go Deshaun Watson, just like my guy over here did. And the reason why I actually had him higher when I initially did it, but he got suspended for 6 games. I got to take that into account, because those are 6 games that my other guys on this list is going to be able to pat on to their stats. So at number 10, I'm going Deshaun Watson. Like I said before on other shows, you took away his number 1 wide receiver. He played better. I mean, it's just that self-explanatory. Played for the worst organization in football outside of the Lions, and I ain't lying. They right up there with each other. And he's Deshaun Watson, bro. Literally. At number 9, I'm going to go Lamar Jackson. I don't have him in my top 5. I have him number 9. I love Lamar Jackson's game. I like the fact that he can take over a game with his legs. And sometimes there is moments where I feel he is the best player in football. But the reason why I got him at number 9 is because I'm still waiting to see him in the playoffs. Regular season, his stats, passing the football, because you got a lot of naysays. Oh, his stats improve. Yeah, I get it, dummy. But when we get to the playoffs, I want to see him being able to make the throws, passing the football in the playoffs when the run game is taken out of the picture and the defense is playing you differently. That's what I need to see. And if there's other quarterbacks that are dual threat like Lamar Jackson can pass and run, I got to put them ahead and do it like effectively. I got to put them ahead of Lamar Jackson. So I'm going Lamar Jackson at number 9. At number 8, I'm going to go with Russell Wilson at number 8. I think he's a pure thrower of the football. He was drafted into a situation where they were building a dynasty there, and now he's able to go to the Broncos and kind of do his own thing over there. He called the offensive philosophy back in Seattle outdated. Well, they're going to be doing things a lot different there with those wide receivers that they have. They lost on my guy. What's his dude? Tim Patrick today to a torn ACL. So that's a weapon down for Russell Wilson. And I think it's going to be an adjustment period. You're playing in the best conference in football. And I get it. You were playing in the best conference in football before this became the new best conference in football. But you have familiarity with your teammates. Over here, you go into a whole new system and you got to figure it out on the fly. At number 7, I'm going to go with Matthew Stafford at number 7. He won a Super Bowl, like I said before. But at the same time, there's no but. He's number 7. That's not disrespect. I think he's number 7. He got arguably the best wide receiver in football in Cooper Kupp. You add Allen Robinson, he's going to put up numbers. But I am expecting, a little hangover, just like the movie. Because, when you getting everybody's best shot is when you win the Super Bowl. I learned that last year. My team, the Buccaneers, we won the Super Bowl, and that's not a place that you want to be because you're getting everybody's best shot. So we'll see how he fares when it comes to that. At number 6, this is where it gets a little tricky here. I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers at number 6. I believe I'm at number 6, right?
Yeah, you had number 6, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers at number 6.
Yeah,
the reason why I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers at number 6, and let me make myself very clear, is this is not what you done 2 years, you won the MVP 2 years. This is not that. My list is basically I'm projecting you all the way into next season. So now we're getting into our MVP type of situation and where I think you're going to be when it comes to the MVP race. You sub out the best wide receiver in football in Devontae Adams, and you talking to me like Allen Lazard is your number 1 wide receiver. Yeah, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying Allen Lazard being the number 1 wide receiver. I'm not buying Randall Cobb being the number 2 receiver or the number 3. And I'm damn sure ain't buying Sammy Watkins because this guy, he had fell off the cliff. So I need more weaponry. Okay, my guy Rodgers was used to going to Devontae Adams. Now he got to get used to spreading the wealth. And I just think they're going to run the football more. I don't think he's going to be passing the ball. You'll be a fool to have him passing the ball with these weapons 40 times a game. They got A.J. Dillon over there. They got my guy Aaron Jones. They're going to run, ground and pound, play defense, and that's their keys to victory. That's why he's this low. At number 5, I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes at number 5 here right now. The reason why I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes number 5 is because I do believe that physically he is a gifted quarterback. But when you take away Tyreek Hill, right? And yes, I said it. Patrick Mahomes at number 5. When you take away Tyreek Hill, you're going to be playing the Chiefs very differently. Remember when Mahomes and you had to guard the Chiefs playing 2-high safety? Remember that? Because you had to take away Tyreek Hill in the big play. Now you don't got to worry about that no more. All you got to worry about is Kelsey in the middle and a couple, solid receivers on the outside. That's what you got to worry about. And when they were playing 2-high safety, let's not forget the whole football field was open for Mahomes to run for the first down. That's gone. Not to mention That's sort of like Steph Curry in the NBA. He was drafted into one of the best situations of all time in the National Football League with Kelsey, with my guy Andy Reid, Hall of Fame coach, with Tyreek Hill. And to be exact, if you ask anybody, a defensive coordinator, why were they up at night when they played the Chiefs? What was the number one reason? It's not Mahomes. It's not Kelsey. It was Tyreek Hill and his blazing speed. I got him at number 5, and I stand not to be corrected. At number 4, I'm going to go with Josh Allen at number 4. I think my guy over here, even though he left, he's back on. He said it briefly. He didn't get a chance to touch the rock, in overtime. And it really was very detrimental because they were supposed to beat the Chiefs. They were supposed to win that game. He got to watch from the bench. Look, I think Josh Allen, that's a guy that I was always high on. Everybody's newcomers to the party. I've been high on the cat since college. He has the physical attributes. He could throw the football deep. He could run. He's like a power runner. And that's why he's there at number 4. And I think Buffalo is going to have a great opportunity to compete for that Lombardi trophy out there in Buffalo. At number 3, I'm going with my guy Tom Brady at number 3. I'm going with him at number 3. The GOAT, always going to put up numbers. I actually think the Buccaneer Brady, and I'm a Brady fan. Nobody cannot out-debate me when talking about Brady. You will get smoked. Trust and believe it. But I can tell you right now, Buccaneer Brady is the best Brady in his career. And the guy's in his 40s. Now, you can say philosophy may be something to do with that, which I would say, yeah. You think when you're passing the ball that much, you're going to put up numbers. But the fact of the matter is, you look at Bruce Arians' system for all these years. Jameis Winston, 30 for 30. 30 for 30 episode. 30 interceptions. Ben Roethlisberger had the most interceptions under Bruce Arians. Same thing with Carson Palmer. But Tom Brady is still able to keep those interceptions at a bare minimum because he's efficient with it. He's the GOAT for a reason. I got him at number 3. Now, this is where it gets spicy for me. At number 2, I'm going Joe Burrow. Yeah, I'm one of those overreactors, but I come with the facts. Look, I always measure situations differently in the sense that you see Patrick Mahomes and take Patrick Mahomes and take Joe Burrow. One guy was drafted to one of the best situations of all time, got an opportunity to sit behind a quarterback in Alex Smith and learn the nuances of the game from the sidelines and was shot out of a cannon. The other guy had to start day one. The other guy had one of the worst offensive lines in football. The other guy, the year before, 3 losses. Coach was on a daggone hot seat. The coach almost won daggone coach of the year. And he almost won the daggone Super Bowl with that offensive line. If you told me last year that the Bengals was going to go to the Super Bowl, I probably would have smacked you upside the head. Honestly, we would have been brawling. Okay, because I was not buying it and I damn sure wasn't selling it. But guess what? They did. And that's a testament to the New Testament. And my God, Joe Burrow. That's why I got him at number 2. At number 1, I'm going with Justin Herbert. And the reason why I'm going with Justin Herbert, like my guy said, you know what I'm saying? He was the more talented guy with Joe Burrow, I would assume. He's the more talented guy. But in this instance, this is why. Take the Chargers for an example. Terrible organization. Okay, they come to you 5 minutes before the game. Oh, you got to go out there and start. Oh, and you're playing the defending champs, the Chiefs. And he went there, passed the test with flying colors. Okay, cool. First year, numbers, historical pace. Cool. All right, this year, we're going to change offensive coordinators and coaches. So basically, you're becoming a rookie again. So basically, even though you pass the test, I'm giving you the test again, and it's going to be harder than your first test. Pass with flying colors. Look at his 2 years in the league. Nobody has touched Justin Herbert stat-wise 2 years ever. He's having a historical season. And last year, he should have made the playoffs. My guy out here was playing Madden, Brandon Staley, going forward on his own 20-yard line, 4th and 5. What are we doing here? Okay, and this year, you give him a defense. Okay, you can stop somebody now, and you got those weapons, and you got his rocket arm. Why the hell I won't put him at number 1? Because I do believe he's winning MVP, and you could book it. Nostradamus.
All right, so before I let y'all go at it, let me recap his list.
Don't even waste your time, bro. Career over for that whole list, dog. Career over.
Go ahead. I'll take. If we want to come, with the debates, bring it on. I'll answer it.
Nobody watching this show wants to hear that list again. I promise you, nobody wants to hear that list again.
Listen,
nobody.
If you got questions and takes, I'm here for it. Send the smoke. Let's bring it.
I don't have questions for none of that. I don't have questions for that. I don't want to ask no questions about that.
Go ahead. Recap my list, brother. Recap my list, my brother.
Man, show him the respect and go ahead and recap that trash list, bro. I can't, man.
Recap the list, my brother.
All right, let me recap the list, man.
Career
Deshaun
over.
Watson at 10.
I said my reasons, but go ahead.
Lamar Jackson at 9. Russell Wilson at 8. Matthew Stafford at 7. Aaron Rodgers at 6. Patrick Mahomes at 5. Josh Allen at 4. Tom Brady at 3. Joe Burrow at 2. And surprise, surprise, Justin Herbert at number 1.
And you know what's the crazy thing about it? Last year I did the same list. I had Tom Brady number 1. Everybody came on my payroll. Oh my gosh, what are you talking about? He's not the best quarterback in football, even though I said that my list was going to be formulated on where I think you're going to line up in MVP category. He should have won the daggone MVP. Then everybody came back to me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm sorry, trying to cop a plea. Get out of here.
All right, so Lynn, what you got to say about his list?
Nothing. It's the dumbest list I've heard. Bro, and what I don't know where to start, man. Let's start here. Let's start with this myth that with no Tyreek Hill. In fact, let's back up since we're talking Patrick Mahomes, because you just said that Justin Herbert's first 2 years historical, nobody's done. Do you recall what Patrick Mahomes did his first year as a starter?
He doesn't have more yards than Herbert in his first couple years.
So let me ask you the question. Are you counting the first year where he didn't play? That's what you're doing?
But still, at the end of the day, I stand corrected. Like that's the truth. Justin Herbert, the first couple years, nobody has stopped him. So you can say if ands or buts all you want.
No, that's not. I don't know. I'm asking you: are you counting the year that Patrick Mahomes didn't play?
I'm like I said, I'm going by the stats that's shown. Okay, and with the stats is.
Can you just answer the question for me? Are you or are you not counting the year that
negative?
Mahomes didn't play?
Clearly
so
not.
Not counting that year. Mahomes' first 4 years as starter, he threw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns.
Okay, and who was his weapons? Who are we? Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer.
Time out. You rationalizing now. You said
I'm rationalizing.
You said nobody has done what Justin Herbert has done in his first 2 years.
And that's factual. And that's factual.
It's not factual. I just gave you the numbers. His first year as a starter, Mahomes threw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns and won the league MVP. First year as a starter. All
right, so let's go by the first couple years together. Even if you put Mahomes' first years that he played, even if you add his years, forget the season that he redshirted. Let's use those years and Justin Herbert years. Justin Herbert still top him. So what are we talking about here?
What lie are you telling? Are you just sitting here telling yourself a lie just to be doing it?
I literally look at the career.
I just told you Mahomes threw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns, and you're not listening to it. Your rebuttal was, oh, who's his weapons? I ain't accounting for his weapons. You said nobody has done what Justin Herbert has done in his first 2 years. In his first 2 years, Justin Herbert went 43-36 with 31 touchdowns. Then he went 5,014 with 38 touchdowns. And mind you, his 5,000 came in a 17-game season.
Where my guy Ray at? I need Ray to pull up the stats.
Ray who? I'm Ray. I'm Ray.
What you need?
Pull up the stats for me real quickly here, man.
For who? Patrick Mahomes?
Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert.
You about the fact that Justin Herbert got 69 touchdowns and Patrick Mahomes had 76 in less games? That's what you're talking about?
Patrick Mahomes.
Because you know Justin Herbert's 5,000 is fraud. You know that, right?
How is it fraud?
Did he do in the same amount of games? Let me rephrase. I'm not going to say fraud. You going to count a dude doing it in 17 the same as the dude did it in 16? That's like me saying the guys that rushed for 2,000 not as impressive as OJ, who did it in 14.
Like I said before, okay, as my guys pulling up the stats, my list is basically, all right, I'm projecting you with the next season. Where's the Chiefs going to put?
So what we just did was, I was wrong about what I was saying. This guy was about to prove me wrong. Forget all that. Let's go back to my other point. Just say you didn't know Mahomes was that good. Say I didn't know Mahomes was 5,000 in his first year.
Go ahead.
Mahomes, we're looking at 2018, correct? First year as a starter, right?
Yeah.
You think I lied about it?
He played 16 games, 5,097 yards, 50 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 113.8 quarterback rating.
How many yards per game, Tyree?
Yards
318.6. What was the QBR, Tyree? 80.3.
All right, let's go to Herbert now.
All right, I'm on Herbert. Hold on 1 second. Herbert. All right, now Herbert. You talking about his first year, right?
Yep. We talking about the first years.
Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. My fault. Okay, first year he threw for 4,336, 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 98.3 quarterback rating.
And he didn't play. Remember, my guy Tyrod Taylor was in there for a couple games.
Yeah, he played 15 games.
He missed one game.
He started 15 games. He didn't play one game.
So how big is the difference? You probably the mathematics do right now. I can't think.
The difference is he threw for 289 a game.
So basically, he could have met that. He could have met that.
How much? There's no way. That's like 700 yards.
You're gonna make the leap from 4,300 yards to 5,000 on 289 yards a game. They teach math in New York.
So do the full last 2 years, however long they've been playing. Do the full last 2 years and add it up.
So the last. Well, I'm not. Hold on. Let me get my calculator out, man. Y'all got me working. All right. So calculator. Mahomes in 2020, but he only played 15 games, threw for 447.40. And last year he threw for 48.39. Somebody remember this number? That's 95.79. All right. Mahomes.
Make sure you account for them games, but go ahead.
Hold on. I'm saying that's what I said. That's 97. What is the number I just gave you?
95.79.
95.79, and that's in that's in 32 games. 95.79 is in 32 games. Justin Herbert 4,336.
Tyree, let me help you out.
4. That's 93.50, and that's 32
Tyree.
games. They both 30. It's both 32 games.
Tyree, you mind letting me share that? Go ahead, just share it, sir. I'll help you out. Can you share that to the screen? There it is, right there. That's Justin Herbert in his first 2 years versus Mahomes' first 2 years as a starter, right? Record clearly in favor of Mahomes. Passer rating 110 for Mahomes, 97.9 for Herbert. Touchdown 76 for Mahomes, 69 for Herbert. Yards, Herbert 93.50, Mahomes 91.28. Yards per game. That they both not 32 games. They can't be, Ty. Mahomes is 30 games.
No, I went off the last 2 years.
I'm talking about the last 2 years. 18 and 19 for Mahomes.
No, I'm talking about the last 2 years. I went off Mahomes.
His argument was
2021 and 2020.
His argument was in Herbert's first 2 years, nobody has done what he's done in his first 2 years, right?
Now, those wasn't the first 2 years I gave you, no.
Right. Yards per game. Mahomes.
I'm talking about the first 2 years. The first 2 years.
Mahomes 304. Justin Herbert 292. Touchdowns per game. Favor Mahomes. Quarterback rating. Favor Mahomes. Passer rating. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
I'm talking about the first 2 years. You talking about the first 2 years?
Yeah. That's Mahomes' first 2 years. 18 and 19.
Nah, this stats got to be rigged, bro. Stop the count. Hey, something is wrong here with your stats. Because my stats don't lie. But anyway, like I was saying before, okay, when you take and combine where both of these quarterbacks play, I'm taking Herbert any day. And matter of fact, where's the Chiefs coming this year in a division where they're going to finish? They're going to finish third. Okay, they're not beating the Chargers. They're not beating the Raiders this year. Okay, they're coming in third. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I'm willing to bet money on that, Jack. Okay, you tell me who got the worst defense in this division this year?
Who got the best quarterback in the division?
It's the Chiefs, so they're gonna come in third.
You know what's funny? When people go, "Oh, no Tyreek Hill." Y'all remember a couple of seasons ago, Tyreek Hill missed like 3 or 4 games early in the year. And you know what happened when he missed those games? When you
have Tyreek Hill and his speed, and you listen him up with Kelsey,
you know, God, listen, sir. God gave you 2 years, 2 ears and 1 mouth. That means you should listen twice as much as you talk. I just said,
look.
I just
go ahead, finish. Go ahead.
I told you when Tyreek Hill missed games, and everybody said, Oh, no Tyreek Hill. Do you know what happened in
How much games? How much games we talking about?
It's like 4 games or something like that.
And how much games he gonna be missing right now? Coming up.
What, sir? I'm just telling you what happened.
So I hate when people do that. Oh, he missed 4 games. He's not missing 4 games now. He missing the whole entire season because he's not on the team no more.
I know, sir. What I'm telling you is, in the sample size that we have, like you said.
Okay, and how many times you got a sample of somebody trying to feed you something on the street, and then you had the full meal? It didn't taste the same, right?
Sir, you just talking about a whole bunch of nonsense. You said defensive coordinators lose sleep at night based on Tyreek Hill.
I'm lying?
And you know what happened when Tyreek Hill didn't play, when he wasn't on the field, and they didn't have to worry about Tyreek Hill? Patrick Mahomes threw for 443 yards and 4 touchdowns. Found a guy by the name of DeMarcus Robinson.
Didn't the Chiefs win without Patrick Mahomes, though? Didn't the Chiefs win when Mahomes was playing and he got hurt? Didn't they win without Patrick Mahomes? With Matt Moore as a quarterback?
Whenever you're ready to let me finish, I'll finish.
Because I that's what I remember. I remember Matt Moore winning without Mahomes.
I remember Patrick Mahomes throwing for 443 yards and 4 touchdowns and found a guy by the name of
that's why your stat is invalid. Because you saying that, all right, Tyreek Hill, you know what I'm saying? We saw what he was without. We saw what they was without Mahomes.
It's invalid because Mahomes still on the team, though. We ain't talking about Mahomes not being on the team. Your argument was they're not going to be X, Y, and Z because Tyreek Hill isn't there. I'm telling you that in the sample size games when he didn't play, it did not matter, sir. Do you know who DeMarcus Robinson is?
That was 4 games. That was 4 games. They actually increased the regular season game since that time, you know.
Understand. Do you know who DeMarcus Robinson is?
Listen, like I said before, I know the value that Tyreek Hill brings.
Can I take that as a no?
All right.
Can I take that as a no? Do you know who DeMarcus Robinson is?
Repeat the question. Yeah, I know who DeMarcus Robinson is.
Where he go to college?
He plays for the Chiefs.
Where he go to college?
I remember where he go to college.
You know why you don't know? Because nobody knew he was. And you know what happened when Tyreek Hill didn't play? Mahomes found that guy for 172 yards. That's what happened. And you know what happened the next game? He threw for another 350 and 3 touchdowns and made a guy that nobody heard of by the name of Mecole Hardman look good. And people talking
Mecole Hardman, that's my guy from Georgia. I know where he from. So yeah, next.
So let me ask you a question, real. Let me ask a question real quick, right?
Hold on, Tyree. You know what great quarterbacks do? They take guys who are nobodies and make you believe they're somebody. They've all done it. Tom Brady, I don't think he's the GOAT, but he's great year after year. Before
and we forgot that when Justin Herbert, right, when he first came, okay, when he was asked to go up against the Chiefs, and that year he didn't have Keenan Allen on his team because Keenan Allen was hurt. He's playing with guys like Josh Palmer and some other cats. Yeah, he's playing with 3rd and 4th wide receivers, and he was putting up numbers.
You're arguing a point that I'm not making.
Okay, and I'm arguing a point to validate my point, which you coming at my point.
No, I'm coming at your point. I'm coming at your point because you had Mahomes 5th. That's problematic because you acting like.
Because that's where I feel
and
next
you had
year.
Aaron Rodgers 6. Come on.
All right, so hold on, fellas.
That's crazy.
Okay.
I don't think I made myself clear. Top rate. Go ahead, Top.
Let me interject for a second. So I do want to ask this real, Leel. You putting a lot of value in Tyreek Hill, right? And I know you said you did the whole 32 quarterbacks. May I ask where is 2 at on that list?
2 is all the way at number 25 because it's a separate list. It's quarterback.
But Tyreek Hill's so great.
Yeah, and guess what? The reason why, and guess what? Matter of fact,
saying he is, bro, you just invalidated your.
But guess what? But guess what? I had the Dolphins winning the East. I had the Dolphins winning the East. We actually did our predictions on In the Huddle yesterday. That's out. Real Lil TV.
Bro, listen, I want you to think about what you just said. Mahomes is great. Recognized by most as the best quarterback in the game. By most. Don't mean you got to agree with
me. Yeah. Mainstream. Recognized by mainstream. Go ahead, continue.
Mainstream, low stream, casual, don't matter. Mahomes.
No. Mainstream. Right? Mainstream attraction.
The only guy for the last couple seasons that you can even put in his stratosphere has been Aaron Rodgers. And you had those 2 guys at 5 and 6 solely based on the fact that they lost their number 1 target.
Because
did you forget back in the day? Did you forget
like I said,
Aaron Rodgers? Did you forget back in the day when
why are we going? All right, first of all,
you know what?
All right, look.
Don't matter who they play with.
We talking about a whole different time. We talking about 10 years ago, bro. We in a new league. Everybody in the NFL got better. Everybody in the NFL got better.
We can talk about 2 years ago.
All 32 teams in the NFL got better.
Hey, real quick. Who was number 2 on? Who's number 10 on your list?
And number 10, I just moved Deshaun Watson down.
You had Deshaun Watson in number 10, right?
Yeah, because of the 6th game.
Happened? What was the main point? You made the same point I made. What did you say about Deshaun Watson?
Because he's not playing 6 games.
No, forget the 6 games. What happened when he was in Houston? What did the organization do to him and the team? What did they do? Who they get rid of?
Traded his number 1 wide receiver.
And what happened after they traded his number 1 wide receiver? You said he got what?
He led the league in passing yards. That's Deshaun Watson.
You mean to tell me you think Deshaun Watson, and I love Deshaun Watson. He ain't no Patrick Mahomes. He ain't no Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
You think,
well,
can I finish my question?
Go ahead.
Cut me off, I can answer it. You think Deshaun Watson got better after losing his number 1 receiver, and you think all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes can't do the same? That's what you're telling me?
Well, I'm telling you this. Let me break it down for you right now.
Break it down.
All right.
Don't start talking.
Deshaun Watson is in a different situation because he's younger, right? Same as Patrick Mahomes, not as Aaron Rodgers. Let me fix Aaron Rodgers first.
Real quick.
Let me address Aaron Rodgers.
Because he's about to answer something I didn't ask him. I'm not talking about where you have him ranked now. That's not what I'm talking about.
I know that's not what you're talking about. You saying why do I have Watson at that spot when my argument was
what I'm asking you. I'm asking you if Deshaun Watson just 2 years ago. I don't care that you.
I was about to answer the guy question. He cut me off, but go ahead.
Because you're about to tell me about where Deshaun Watson's ranked. That's not my point.
I'm not telling you where he's ranked. I'm telling you why that I basically gave him the achievement for leading the league in pass yards without a number 1 wide receiver. And I'm not doing the same for Aaron Rodgers and Mahomes, right? That's the question, right?
Carry on.
Okay, cool. Let me answer the question. Anyway, the reason why I'm doing that was because first let's start with Aaron Rodgers and exclude Mahomes from this for a second. Aaron Rodgers is much older than Deshaun Watson. Okay, we talking about a guy who should be getting weapons, not losing them at his age. Let's be clear here. Okay, number 1. Number 2, how many times has God talked about retirement in the last 3 damn years? The guy is halfway out the door. Okay, he got his bags ready to go. That's why Adams left. Why did Adams leave? He said it in the press conference. He's out of there. I cannot risk my career without Aaron Rodgers. So he's thinking about the sunset and his retirement plans. That's number 2. Number 1, well, actually number 4. I'm moving backwards. Number 4, the reason why I said it on my exact take, I don't believe that his stats is going to eye pop this year because without a number 1 wide receiver, your MO is to run the football when you got 2 backs and A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. If you grounding and pounding, how the hell are you going to put up the stats to be in the MVP discussion again? I said what I had to say when I said it. So time out. We think that Rodgers is going to throw 40 times a game this year, or we think they're going to run the football more? Tyree, you think they're going to ground and pound this year? They got 2 backs. It's cold up there. What you think they're going to do? They're going to throw it all over the yard, or they're going to run the football a little bit more this year?
I think you got Aaron Rodgers. He's the 2nd or 3rd highest paid quarterback in
that's
the
not
NFL.
that.
No, but I'm saying you don't pay him all that money to let him hand the ball off. They're going to throw it.
I think that's what they're going to do. That's my prediction. That's why he's this low. So yeah, we could agree to disagree, but that's my prediction.
How about this right here? Let me ask this question: if a quarterback went out and threw for 4,300 yards, and we're talking a 16-game season, so over 17, that's probably more like 45, 46. The quarterback throws for 4,300 yards, 40 touchdowns, and less than 10 interceptions. What kind of season is that?
Repeat the question. My fault. Go ahead.
If a quarterback throws for 4,400 yards, right? And we're talking 16-game season. This is before the 17. 4,300 yards, 39, 40 touchdowns, less than 10 interceptions. What kind of season is that?
That's a good season. That's a pretty good season.
Pretty good season, right? You know, Aaron Rodgers did that with Randall Cobb as his number 1. He did that without a 1,000-yard receiver. You know that? Without a 1,000-yard receiver.
Wait, what year was this?
Before Devontae Adams came.
How long ago?
Yeah, but you're saying how long ago? You literally just said
it's a question, though. It's a question.
You know, whenever Devontae Adams came, 12, 13, somewhere around there, right? That's all we
12,
have to
13.
go because, but you're making your case built on Devontae Adams. Aaron Rodgers has always been Aaron Rodgers before Devontae Adams.
Let me break it down.
He's going to be in without.
Let me bring some more heat. Let me bring some more pressure here because
before you bring some more heat, let me refute that bogus point you made about he been talking about retirement for the last 3 years, and all he did was go out and win 2 MVPs. So that's a bogus. You can't be like, he got 1 foot out the door, he's gonna play bad.
Guess what? He didn't have a receiver leave. Adams surely think he's out soon. That's why he left. But anyway, because why would you go to play with Derek Carr for Aaron Rodgers? I mean, dumb, like that's dumb right there. Why else would you go play with Derek Carr when you just played with a guy that won 2 MVPs? My point exactly. Anyway, my thing here is, and I
was your
literally
point?
lost my point.
Exactly. What was the point?
Another thing that I'm bringing the pressure on is, as I said it before, right? My list is I'm projecting you into next season. So this is basically where I feel you're going to end up in MVP. So Aaron Rodgers won 2 years in a row.
So your list isn't who's the better quarterbacks. Your list is which teams are going to be better, because your team got to be good to win MVP.
No. It's going to be a combination of team success for sure, but it's also eye test. There's a lot of different percentages here. It's eye test. It's
so
projections.
You think on eye test there will be 5 quarterbacks that look better than Aaron Rodgers next year?
On eye test?
I want some of what you smoking.
On eye test, better quarter. Aaron Rodgers top 5 eye test. Like come on. Like I'm a guy. Like I watch football. I does this.
I test he's top 5. Football. You had Joe Burrow second and Justin Herbert first.
Didn't Joe Burrow just lead his team to a Super Bowl with no offensive line, my guy, playing against the Rams and almost won the game, and they got one of the best defensive lines of football, Aaron Donald there? Or what are we doing?
So listen, what? All
right, guys. So look, we spent a lot of time on this topic.
We're gonna blame him. He had Aaron Rodgers and Mahomes 5th and 6th.
We're gonna have to agree to disagree, and we might have to do a part 2 of this when the season gets just a little bit closer. So let's get to this last topic. The last topic, and hey, it is some disrespect but we'll talk about it. All right,
I literally laid out my list, my projections, and all that, and y'all still don't get it. Y'all ain't never gonna get it.
No, but we gotta stay there for a second, Ty. You on the time limit? You gotta be off air by
on the top limit. Go ahead.
Okay, but I want to. You never explained to me why Deshaun Watson is capable of losing his number 1 receiver and having a better year.
When you look at
Aaron Rodgers, let's get past Aaron Rodgers because you're gonna stay old. But Patrick Mahomes, who plays for an offensive genius and still has arguably the greatest tight end to play the game. Tony Gonzalez, Shannon Sharp, Gates, all that good stuff, right? But Kelsey is in that ilk of players. You still have him. We watched Phillip Rivers year in, year out have phenomenal years with a tight end as his number 1, right? We watched numerous quarterbacks rotate through Kansas City, utilizing Gonzalez as their number 1. We watched Matt Ryan utilize kind of Gonzalez and Julio, whatever. Right?
I think your point, you traveling back, and right now the NFL is totally different. We got a lot of good teams here. But let me answer your question.
Right? You say I'm traveling back. Deshaun Watson was 2 years ago when that happened. That's not that far back. That was 2 years ago.
Okay, and guess what? I got a year to rest.
He's playing for Eric Bieniemy and Andy Reid today with Travis Kelce today with Juju.
All right, look. Let me pull up my list real quickly here. Let me pull up my list again because I have my list on file.
I don't really care who you had above him. I'm talking about your logic of he lost Tyreek Hill, so he takes this huge step back. And I like if your point in Deshaun Watson being great and good was he lost his number 1 receiver and got.
All right, so right now we acting like top 5 is disrespect. Basically, I'm saying by having Mahomes at 5, based on my criteria, I'm saying that Mahomes is going to come in 5th in MVP voting. That's not disrespect, especially losing a wide receiver like Tyreek Hill. So let's start there. Once again, the same reason you're coming after me. Losing Tyreek Hill, and I said losing Tyreek Hill, I still got him finishing number 5 in MVP voting. That's not disrespect. That's basically an honorable mention to the MVP.
So you have Miami winning their division and the quarterback finishing 25th.
Because I believe
great Tyreek Hill.
I believe that they're going to get the ball into playmakers' hands. Right? That's what they're going to do. They're going to run the football. Tua is going to get the ball into Tyreek Hill's hands and all them guys' hands. It's just going to be quick passes, and they do something with it. They got the fastest track team out there. And they got a defense that takes the ball away. They got a good scoring defense out there. That's why they're going to win a division.
Let me allow you to redeem yourself for the fans.
Because what? So talking about it's almost like the 49ers. Because the 49ers can win a division with Jimmy G. Why? Because Jimmy G is a great game manager. Exactly why Tua and I believe they're going to win a division. Same reason, same logic. Jimmy G is not going to be in MVP categories, but he's going to be a good game manager with a good team, and they can win a division, right? That's how I look at Tua. Simple.
But he has the great Tyreek Hill now. So let's do this. Disregarding your MVP thought process for a minute. Who are the 3 best quarterbacks in the NFL?
3 best quarterbacks right now, eye test. Or just like eye test, basically. All right. Mahomes will be in there. Tom Brady will be in there. And Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen. I know I did more than 3, but I'll go those guys. If we was going top 5 quarterbacks, just top 5, eye test, boom, 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 spit it out. It will be Mahomes, number 1. It will be Tom Brady, number 2. Aaron Rodgers, number 3. Josh Allen. And then we get to my Herberts and my Joe Burrows. So basically, Justin Herbert is number 5 on my just regular best quarterbacks. Just like that. If I wasn't factoring what I did for this list. He's already the 5 there. Now, when I factored the other things that I factored in, that's why he's number 1. Because it's like MVP, projections, and eye test. So eye test, he's number 5. MVP, I think he's going to win it. Projections, I think the Chargers going to probably win the division. That's why he's number 1.
Hey, Tyree, you know why I can call myself the GOAT? You see me make him change his whole list and give me the right list. You see that? That's when you the GOAT of debating. When you
No. You asked me a question, I answered it. I could have said hell no, but I answered the question because that's how I feel.
Because I'm the
This is when I do my list, I do it totally different. Like I said, I've been doing this quarterback list for like 2 years.
That's such a long time.
This is how I went 2 years.
Got you, go.
What else you got, Tyree?
All right, so look,
I know it's gonna get real spicy right here. I can't wait.
We getting to the last topic, man. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all like seeing these guys debate. We definitely might do a part 2 of this, man, because it's I feel like we could do this all night. All right. My guy on the phone over there, I would have had him go first. But
hey, let him go first. It's his turn to go first. I'm cool.
Top 5 NBA players all time. What you got for me, real Leel?
Yo, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, come on, my headphones is out. Let my guy go first.
Okay, I'm cool with that. I was trying to be respectful. It was his turn. So, okay, man, this is my thing. I rank my top 10 NBA players in 3 different tiers, right? So when I get to 5 and 4, it's important that I mention a guy that's going to be left out of my top 5. But if you had him in your top 5, I wouldn't think it was crazy. And that's Tim Duncan, who I think is probably one of the most disrespected superstars, all-time greats the game has ever seen. Be it known that my top 5, top 10, whatever, in the NBA, I don't judge football players like this. I don't judge baseball players like this. In the NBA, I judge you based on quite a few things, but your resume is where it's at for me, right? Your stats, your accomplishments, longevity matters, right? All that good stuff. So in my 4, 5, 6 range, right? I have Tim Duncan at 6, but I have him at a tier with 2 other guys who I have at 4 and 5. And I think these 3 guys were the most fortunate in terms of where they were drafted, being a superstar type player and falling into a good situation. Tim Duncan goes to a team with David Robinson, who people forget in the 90s was the MVP, won a scoring title, led the league in rebounds, led the league in blocks, won defensive player. He did all that in the 90s. In an era with Shaq, Alonzo Mourning, Hakeem Olajuwon, Dikembe Mutombo, go look at who was winning all NBA first teams in the 90s. David Robinson was like that. So Tim Duncan falls into that great situation. Then 4 and 5, at number 5, I have the great Magic Johnson sitting at 5. His career speaks for itself, right? 5-time NBA champ, 3-time Finals MVP, 3-time League MVP. I don't know how many assist titles he got, somewhere around 4 or 5, something like that. The first, big point guard, like Magic being 6'9" and doing things he did, kind of paved the way for the NBA we see today, the positionless thing, where a guy at 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" can handle the rock. If not for Magic, we don't see a Scottie Pippen. We don't see a Grant Hill, right? So a T-Mac, guys long, athletic KD that can really handle the rock. So Magic at 5. Number 4, the late, great, y'all see it on the back wall. Y'all see GG, Kobe back there too. Late, great Kobe Bryant at number 4, right? For me, again, people pick and choose when they want things to matter. His longevity plays a huge factor, but it's not just his longevity. The guy did everything. 5-time NBA champ, multiple scoring titles, got a league MVP, 2-time Finals MVP. They said he couldn't do it without Shaq. He proved them wrong. In fact, he's one of the only guys in the history of the league to be labeled a quote-unquote Robin and then show y'all, no, y'all got that wrong, right? Every other guy in the top 10, top 15, top 20, those guys were either always considered that, or they just stayed Robins their whole career, right? Kobe in 2000, if you ask me, you can call him Robin. By 2001, he'd arrived. Go look at those numbers in them playoff series. Yeah, Shaq dominated in the finals. Go look at what Kobe did in those Western Conference finals, in those second round, when he was giving San Antonio 33-7-7. Go look at what he did to Sacramento on a closeout. He dropped 48 and had more rebounds than Shaq. Y'all better check the boy record. So I got Kobe at number 4, man. The All-NBAs, the All-Stars, the All-Defenses, 4th or 5th. He might have dropped to 5th now. All-time points. Like, he's done it all. His resume speaks for itself. Then I have my GOAT tier, right? My GOAT tier, I think they're the only 3 players in the history of the league who even have a case. Like, if you name somebody outside of that, right, I don't acknowledge it, right? Like, far as talking GOAT. At number 3, watch these comments get on fire. Michael Jeffrey Jordan at number 3, right? We know what Mike's resume is, you know what I'm saying? Recognized by a lot. You can even say most as the GOAT. I just ain't got him there, right? Like, again, I said longevity matters to me. Like, the 2 guys that I have at 2 and 1, to be able to play at an extremely high level for 18, 19, 20 years, like, that matters to me, because if it was easy, everybody would do it, right? It's a lot of things. I think fans have anointed Mike as the GOAT. So what they do is they take his resume and they make that the bar, as if other people's accomplishments don't matter, right? I tell people all the time, LeBron got a case. His fans just don't know how to argue it. I ain't no LeBron fan, but I got him ahead of Mike, which moves to number 2. I got LeBron at number 2, Kareem at number 1, and I think LeBron's going to pass him. When it's all said and done, when LeBron leaves this game, I think he will be the greatest player to ever lace him up. And I ain't even no LeBron fan. In fact, I'm a diehard Kobe fan. I've been a LeBron hater as long as he's been in the NBA. But what he's done throughout his career, for a guy who they say is not a scorer, right? Rookie year, he averaged 19. He ain't averaged less than 25 cents. LeBron, 19 years. Out of those 19, I think he led his team in scoring every year but 1, and led his team in assists every year but like 2 or something like that. Like, he is the epitome of an all-around player. You like that, man. Like, everything they said was a weakness, he fixed it. They said he wasn't a good shooter. Go look at his 3-point percentage. It's higher than Mike's. It's higher than Kobe's, right? Like, LeBron do it all, man. Jordan averaged more than Kareem at an older age. Okay, I don't know what the point in that was, right? Like, maybe Mike was very refreshed from those retirements, right? Again, man, that's my list. I got Kareem 1, LeBron 2, Mike 3. If you have them in a different order, it ain't even nothing I would like get extremely upset about. I don't think nobody else is in the conversation but those 3 guys. When LeBron does pass Kareem, that might be the final feather in his cap. And again, fans will act like being the all-time leading scorer in the history of the game doesn't matter at all. How don't it matter? And let me touch on Kareem just for a second. I don't know why he gets so disrespected. Like, that man, not a 6-time MVP, 5-time champ. No, 6-time MVP, 6-time champ. Multiple scoring titles, all-time leading scorer. He got rebound titles. He got blocks. Like, Kareem is the most accomplished basketball player to ever lace him up. And I think he gets super disrespected. Everybody's talking Mike and LeBron. Nobody even talk Kareem. So I show him his love. I got Kareem. Let's go. LeBron 2, Mike 3, Kobe 4, Magic 5.
All right, he just recapped his list. What you got, Real Lil?
Okay. I mean, we got a pretty similar list, like you said. It's one that I like, I would say I'm passionate about. I won't go crazy like I used to, but I still, not feeling it. I'll get to that in a minute. And number 5, I'm going to go. This is tough. I'm going to go Kobe, number 5 for me. Kobe is my favorite basketball player of all time. Okay, literally my favorite of all time. And I think when you talk about Kobe Bryant, he embodied that. Listen, I'm going to make it happen, right? I'm clutch. You don't want to take the shot? I'm going to take the shot. You know what I'm saying? He won with Shaq. Everybody say he was never going to win nothing else without Shaq. He won 2 with Paul Gasol. Like, I get it. Paul Gasol, he was a pretty decent player at his time. But still, when we talk about these players, like how we talking about now, where the hell does Paul Gasol rank in the list that we trying to do? I mean, we'll be here all night pretty much. Andrew Bynum was solid, at his time. But, he had his issues. You feel me? He won with those guys. Okay, Ron Artest, he won with those guys. Good players, but they're not going to be here in this list anytime soon. Kobe Bryant is Kobe Bryant, number 24. At number 4, I'm going Magic. Big point guard. You know what I'm saying? Like my guy said, he set a precedent for these big guards that we seen handling the ball. I think he inspired LeBron James a little bit too. And he won championships that always account for something. Assist titles, he got it. Magic. I mean, he made AIDS disappear. I mean, come on. I got him at number 4. At number 3, I'm gonna go with Kareem. Most unstoppable shot in basketball. You know what I'm saying? That skyhook shot. Nobody could stop it. You know what I'm saying? He won pretty much everywhere he went. MVPs, he got it. I think he's very underrated too. A lot of people don't talk about him. There's an argument that he could be the greatest player of all time as well. I like Kareem at number 3. At number 2, this is where it get a little spicier for me. I'm going with LeBron James at number 2. You see, the difference between LeBron James and Kobe Bryant, I did try to do it. I'm not going to lie. I tried to do it on the show. I tried to put Kobe and LeBron James. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to disrespect Bron like that. Bron is a very good player. He sees the court. He has a sixth sense of where everybody's going to be. He can smell when guys is open. He can find the open man. He's an all-around good player. Some of the stuff where he was struggling in his career, over time, he actually was better at. But I think with Kobe and LeBron and LeBron James, you don't see a lot of players right now. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. This is one where I'll stop. You can correct me if I'm wrong. You don't see a lot of guys trying to be like LeBron James right now. Like, LeBron James is the guy that I model my game after. I don't really see those guys. A lot of people were saying Ben Simmons was going to be one of those guys. But right now, I think his ceiling is Draymond Green, being a Draymond Green type of guy more than LeBron James. But you see, Kobe, he got a branch of, Jason Tatum's, Devin Booker's. All those guys is Kobe guys. They come from the Kobe Bryant branch. Other guys that I'm not even mentioning right now. But I still got to respect LeBron James. He went to the finals every year when he was in the Eastern Conference. A weaker conference. Yeah, we get it. It was very weak. I'm not going to lie. It was very weak. But at the same time, it's about the dominance. And the dominance is why he's number 2. Because even if, like, for example, when we talk about Will Chamberlain, and he's another guy that just almost made my list, I got to respect you in your era. We can sit here and pair you this era, that era, which I will do at times, but it's about the dominance in that era. For example, MCs, right? It's about the dominance in certain eras. You could be dominant now, Kendrick Lamar dominant now, but that doesn't mean you could be dominant back then with guys like KRS, Nas's and Jay-Z in their primes. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying when it comes to this. I got LeBron James at number 2. At number 1, I'm going Michael Jordan at number 1. Think he's a GOAT. There's no other player that you see players actually playing when MJ was playing and called another player God. We don't see people calling LeBron James God. There were people like Larry Bird. Larry Bird is Larry Bird, my guy. He called Michael Jordan God, literally. To call another man God, yeah, you must be damn close. And he was like that. Both sides of the ball. Defensively, offensively, two-way player. He brings it all, and he was clutch. He wasn't shying away for the moment. The reason why I have him over LeBron James is because, and this is a compliment to LeBron James in a way, LeBron James could have won more finals had he had that Jordan mentality where I'm taking the last shot. And granted, one of the underrated things about LeBron James is that he is clutch. That's a narrative that I think is misunderstood. He is clutch, but he could be even more clutch. I've seen him in finals where he'll pass the ball and guys will miss a shot. For example, Kyle Korver. I remember it was against the Warriors. KD was on the Warriors. They were down 2-0, I believe, and he had an opportunity to win a game 3, and he passed the ball at the end, and Kyle Korver missed a shot. It's shots like that where Michael Jordan was taking that shot. You know what I'm saying? Especially if he didn't believe in anybody else to make the shot. So I like Jordan at number 1. He is always going to be number 1 for me. I don't think there's no way LeBron James passes him unless he builds another super team and tries to do it that way. So to recap my list, at number 5, I'm going with Kobe. At number 4, I'm going Magic. At number 3, I'm going Kareem. At number 2, I'm going LeBron. Number 1, I'm going MJ.
So I like I said about the football, and like I'm a Kobe guy, right? Like when people say he's 7th or 8th, I try not to get too bothered by it because it's like, yo, we talking about thousands of people that have played this game, and I'm gonna argue with you over 3 spots, right? Like it's like you're still saying he's one of the greatest of the greats, right? You start talking preference and things like that. two people I want to address that you talked about, though, right? I don't really want to get into an MJ versus LeBron thing. I really don't. Because I think wherever people stand on that side of the coin, they're gonna stand, right? LeBron James could cure cancer, and some people not gonna care, right? I mean, some people just like you said, he's not gonna pass Mike. Mike is God.
I mean,
right?
if he wins a couple more championships, then he definitely is. If he's not right there ready, I would say he would surpass him.
So real quick, and I ask people this question all the time: if you can fully understand how Michael Jordan is ahead of Bill Russell, then you can understand how somebody can have LeBron ahead of Mike. You don't have to win the same number of championships as somebody, right? Like Bill Russell won 11, and people will downplay that. By the way, man, RIP Bill Russell, right? And people will downplay that in many ways. I say Bill Russell was super overrated. I don't want to talk about it now because it's too fresh, right? But if basketball fans love to say championships and then won't have Bill Russell in their top 5, so don't then give me the, but again, hold on. I want to do the mic. It's two things specifically I want you to respond to, answer, whatever you want to call it. You said LeBron could have won more finals, right? I will concede 2011. I think LeBron choked that finals away. They were supposed to dust Dallas, right? Although Kobe, your favorite player, my favorite player, we saw what Dallas did to us, right? But I'll give you 2011. Miami Heat, new super team, not 1, not 2, not 3. You didn't even win that one. Tell me another finals Brown was supposed to win that he lost.
I would say it would probably be that one. That one is the one that stick out, but it was a bad one. That's a bigger stain.
That's a black eye on his career.
That's like literally that's 2 black eyes. That's not even a black eye. You got both black eyes. You fought Mike Tyson, bro.
Right.
Like it's a big stain because when you.
And I'm using this platform, not saying you made this argument just while we're talking about it, right? When fans talk about LeBron James, right? First off, finals.
I know what you're gonna say.
Well, finals record was never a thing, right? That was never a thing until Jordan won them all and didn't lose none, right? So he's 6-0 in the finals. Nobody cares about his Eastern Conference Finals losses. Nobody cares about his second round losses. Nobody cares about his 3 first round losses until 2021. Bryant had never lost in the first round, right? Nobody cared about that. It was, his finals record on the biggest stage, you don't show up. Well, what difference do it make when you lose if you lose to better competition? When you ask people, why did Mike lose in the first round? The first thing they tell you is the Celtics had X amount of Hall of Famers. What you call what LeBron was playing against in Golden State?
I would say this, when you talk about, because I thought you was going this way, maybe you stopped and forgot your train of thought, but there's a conception that rings is the biggest thing, and rings sometimes is the only thing, right? That's why you made the argument about Bill Russell. He has more rings than Michael Jordan. Why isn't he higher if we're going to base it on rings? Am I correct?
Sort of, yeah. In that vein, it wasn't more so. I don't think you think that. It's just the idea that if as fans you can boldly put Jordan ahead of Bill Russell, then when we talk LeBron and Mike, don't tell me LeBron got to win more rings. You don't have
so basically, what it comes down to for me is when you talk about Michael Jordan and 6 rings and going 6-0, that's impressive. I'm not gonna lie. Like it may not be, shouldn't be the only thing, but it stands out. I would say that for starters, it stands out. But also for me, I do take into account errors too. You feel me? I think that matters in some retrospects, not all, because like I said, dominance, and LeBron James has filled that void partially with the dominance of the 2010s, like all the way from 2010 all the way to now, even though that dominance was shared with guys like Kobe before Kobe went away, and Steph when Steph burst onto the scene in 2015 on. So LeBron James shared an era of dominance, right? When you talk about the NBA, when you talk about Michael Jordan and the era that he played in, the hand check, you know what I'm saying, and how it's so easy to score right now, right? I feel like there's a lot of media savants and keyboard warriors who would just find stats today. Oh, this guy did this, and it'd be the stupidest stat in the world just to beef LeBron James up over MJ. So even though you say that there's a lot of guys that would never put MJ over LeBron or LeBron over MJ, I do feel like right now in this time, in this generation, there's actually more guys trying to beef up LeBron James. And it comes for the media because it's always these little stats. LeBron James did this, LeBron James did that. I know Michael Jordan played in an era where guys was getting clothesline.
Can you stop saying that, please? See, here we go. We're going to do the Mike LeBron thing. You know what was the easiest era in basketball to score? The 80s. Go look it up. Go look it up. Go look at the fact that the 80s was a walking layup line. Everybody shot 50% in the 80s. Everybody. The league average in the 1980s was like 49% of team. They was getting 88 to 90 field goal attempts per game, and teams was averaging 110 a game. And everybody they look at those highlights of the Pistons and go, the league was so rugged and rough and tough. No, it wasn't. It was a walking layup line. It was fast paced and everybody got layups.
Lead in the 90s, man.
Huh?
A man said it was the highest scoring league in the 90s.
No, I would say this.
It wasn't. I'm not talking to Cortland. Every time he debate me, he wrong. All he got to do is get on Google, go on Basketball Reference.
No,
look up the numbers. That's all you got to do.
90s was the toughest era to score. First of all, let's make that clear.
2000s was the toughest era to score. Go look it up.
I say 90s. I say late 90s, mid 90s.
Go look it up. I've done the research. The 2000s was the hardest era to score. That's why we have these arguments about guys like Allen Iverson, guys like Gilbert Arenas who was scoring 30, guys like Kobe, T-Mac. Go look at what teams were scoring. Think about a team that won a title in the 2000s, the Pistons. They was beating people.
I would say this, though. Even though right now it's easy to score, because we're not going to sit here and act like right now it's not easy to score. You know what I'm saying? It is easy to score right now. May not be like the 80s, but it's
easier to score.
Because of the way how they was calling the free throws. Remember, James Harden made a whole living at the free throw line.
There's one guy, right? And it's almost like you go to the
you know how soft this league is, bro. Stop. Like I get it, they trying to change it a little bit here.
They soft how,
bro. Half the stuff that went on back then in the 90s cannot go on today.
Like what stuff that went on? Go look at
bro. Do we do hand checks? Do we do hand checks now?
Bro, hand checking is soft. You hand checking me, I'm smacking that out of here, bro.
Tyree, we doing hand checking today? Because maybe I'm asleep.
So who was hand checking stopping? Who was it stopping?
Bro, you know how hard it was to score when you got those teams like the Pacers, Ron Artest and all them guys over there, and the Detroit Pistons, all those teams over there. We don't have teams like that no more. Everybody's just offensively driven.
Stop. I wish I had my whistle. See how fast people mix up their arguments and lie? The 90s was this, 90s was that. Ron Artest. Ron Artest wasn't playing in no 90s, bro. What you talking about?
That's why I said the 90s, the late 90s into the 2000s was the toughest era to score.
Yeah, but Mike wasn't even playing in.
But he was playing it. He was playing in the 90s.
Y'all don't count his Wizards years, right? So
he was playing in the 90s.
Bro, so tell me this. Tell me 5.
I didn't even finish my point. I didn't even finish my point. Right now,
so that's just what we doing.
But I didn't even finish my point. What I was trying to say is that you made a point about the 80s being the easiest time to score, which I agree with. It was, right? But I think right now in this time,
you told me it was tough 5 minutes ago. But go ahead.
I said it. I think I paid homage, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I need to correct myself. The 80s was the easiest to score. If I didn't stand corrected, I'm staying corrected now. 80s was the easiest to score. Right now, I would say is probably right up there for the second best, easiest scoring era, however you want to word that. But I also think players right now are more skilled than ever before. So you combine that with it being easy to score. Now you have a lot of guys that's out here scoring out the gym. And it just combines. You combine the two. Modern medicine. So we're not going to talk about modern medicine, how you could tear ACL and play, right after, a couple months later. So we're not going to talk about modern medicine. We're not going to talk about social media, okay, and how LeBron James got that and the other guys got that now behind their back. We're not going to talk about that. My guy, Michael Jordan, was a global, international star without social media.
Hold on 1 second. What do social media got to do with this?
I just want to know what
popularity.
Oh, okay.
And popularity. And popularity when we talk about these GOAT conversations and things of that nature.
Yeah, but now we get into that thing where it's like, okay, I've argued this topic before, and I'm going to preemptively try to shut down every argument I've ever heard. Because you arguing stuff that we ain't even talked about none of that. All we was talking about was how difficult it is to score. You know why scoring so high right now? Like nobody ever factors this in. You know what the scoring got so high? The evolution of the 3 ball. Go look it up. That's why scoring is. I mean,
that's another reason why. And thanks to Steph, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
thanks to Steph. That's why I said in my take that Steph had his level of dominance, and LeBron James shared some of that dominance from that 2010 to 2020 with Steph.
Mike didn't share no dominance. People didn't win MVPs in the 90s.
Ain't win no finals. How many Hall of Famers didn't win the finals because of MJ?
Don't say that. Don't say that. Because a bunch of Hall of Famers won while he was playing too.
Well, there's a lot more that didn't win because he was winning. When you win 6, okay, when you win 6, that's 6 years over somebody's career.
Yeah,
it's being just logical there.
Every Hall of Fame, every person that's ever won championship can say, I stopped somebody else from winning. If we was having this conversation in 1990, we would be saying Magic, Bird, and Zeke kept Mike from winning. That's what we'd be saying. We was having this conversation in 1990, right? Because those guys was winning. It's really only 2 guys you're going to look at and go, I'm talking Hall of Fame, could be in like the top 10, top 15 combo, but didn't win. The only 2 guys you're going to put in that conversation that didn't win, and you can say Mike, right, is Karl Malone and Charles Barkley. Even if Drexler won one and nobody was never going to put him in that conversation, right? So even when Mike beat him, it didn't mean nothing. It meant something for Mike. He actually won a championship, but you're like, oh, he stopped Drexler. Wouldn't have mattered. No way. Drexler wasn't going to be a top 10 guy. The team he beat in 91, them guys had 5 in the 80s already. So he ain't stopped them. 93, he stopped Chuck, and he stopped Malone twice. You add a ring to Gary Payton legacy, and it don't change at all. So, like, when we go, all these Hall of Famers he stopped. Mike didn't play in 95.
Like I said, MJ's a GOAT, okay? For all the reasons I described for the last half hour, and I'm going to stick with that.
No, I hear you, but like, so this is why sports debate is so trash sometimes. Like, because I'm really having a conversation with you. Like, I'm almost enjoying it.
No.
I throw out a point.
I feel you.
Like, you know, like you just go forget all that. Like, Mike.
Nah, because some points is like it's just dead end. It's just dead end points. Like okay, yeah.
Meaning you can't refute them.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay.
No, it's not about refute, because what are we refuting? I don't need to refute anything. I made my point. But
you didn't know. Like your point is Mike the GOAT. Like that's and again, bro, let's backtrack. I don't even want to argue Mike the GOAT. Again, I want to backtrack because there's 2 things you said. You said LeBron could have won more finals. I asked you what other finals was he supposed to win. We both agree 11. So out of the 6 he lost, you picking 1 to say he should have won that one. He shouldn't have been there in 2000.
Well, you could also say
2018.
You can also say, well, basically, he should have won more finals is a broad term. It's more broader than probably what you perceived it to be. Because I wasn't only talking about playing in the finals, he should have won more. I'm talking about a lot of it in Miami. He should have won like 10 of them joints. Literally, they should have won more. Way more than what they won.
So let's backtrack. It's like, because we saying crazy stuff. He played 4 years in Miami.
I'm saying, Kate. So he didn't come out his mouth with Dwayne Wade and say not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7.
Bro, I know what he said, but let's talk about what actually happened. He played 4 years in Miami, so he can't win 10 championships. Let's start there. He only played 4 years.
And he ditched, just like how he ditched everywhere.
I know, yeah, but
because number one, D Wade was getting older. Okay, so Chris Bosh had health injuries, had health situations.
What we're gonna do is we're just gonna keep moving the goalposts. Like, you make a point.
No, I'm not moving the goalposts.
You said. What we were talking about is he should have won more championships.
No, because you said he played in Miami for 4 years. I'm telling you why he played for Miami for. He didn't get traded. He didn't get cut.
Doesn't matter why
he left. That's why.
Yeah, but now you talking about semantics. He played 4 years in Miami. Can't win 10 championships in 4 years. And the 4 years was there. He went to the finals 4 times. We already agreed. We're in lock and step. He blew 2011. Everybody can agree to that. He won in 12. He won in 13. What happened in 14? Was he supposed to win?
Like I said, to my point. All right, now I'm gonna make this very clear.
Like me.
That's why he left. He left because
he won't looking that bad.
You see, LeBron James. Anytime something is about to sink, he leaves. That's why I just don't respect that part of his mercenary, visit.
Say I agree with you. Let's say I agree with you. Let's backtrack, because what I like to do is when I debate with people, when they say stuff, I want to get to the core of what they're saying. You said he should have won more championships, right? And then
I explain. I literally explain. All right, so you can agree with what I explain, or you can disagree. But you ain't getting nothing else out of me. I told you the reason why I said that he should have won more is because it's a broader term.
What you're saying
is not only about the finals that he played in.
Sir, Mr. Sports Reporter, I pay you too damn good at this. When you asking questions, I ain't gonna answer them. I'm gonna stick with my point and just call it that. That's what we're doing.
No. You asked. No. Come out. You asked me a question.
You ain't
you asked me a question.
When was he supposed to
you asked me a question.
Tell me a year
I answered it. You ain't like the answer, and you ain't getting another one.
Because you ain't gave one. Because you don't know how to give one. Tell me when LeBron and he lost.
How you gonna tell me about a statement that I said and why I'm wrong at a statement that I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's an opinionated statement, not a factual where you can look up stats to show it.
Opinions can be wrong too, right? Because you got to be able to justify your opinions. That's what we do in sports debate.
I know, but this,
like, if I tell you Grant Hill is one of the 5 most talented players I've ever seen, I can back it up.
Like I said before.
You can't back
up. Ty Ray.
Hold on 1 second.
Generally speaking,
fellas. Hold on 1 second, man. Look, we done been on here for a minute. Both of y'all done made some great points.
No, stop saying that. Stop saying that. Don't lie on TV.
No, he made some.
Listen.
No, he made some great points, Ray. He made some great points, Ray. He did. Y'all both made some great points. We done got to this point, man. Hey, look, we could be on here all night debating.
I think we got a new GOAT. He came in to show the GOAT. I'm the GOAT leaving now. Title is mine. See you on the other side.
Tyree. That's why you can't lie to people. That's why you can't lie to people and say stuff.
No, he ain't lie. He ain't lie.
I mean, he had some great.
Bro, I defended all my points. I defended. I didn't want to wait from no smoke here. Out of all the hell you try to raise on it.
Hey, I got to mute y'all too, man. Because look, y'all out of pocket, man.
You know just sat here and watched bro back down off his.
Hey, look,
I'm gonna just give what I'm giving. That's why.
Hey, look.
He can't even back up his points, bro. That's why I do this.
You. So look, man. Y'all seen what it was. If you seen the whole thing, if not, I'm gonna put the snippets out later. Tell me who y'all think came away with it. Who y'all think got diced up, cut up, whatever. And we're gonna go from there. Like I say, man, I appreciate both y'all fellas coming on. If you want to see my guy, Real Leel, in the Huddle podcast on YouTube. Real Leel _TV on Instagram, real _ Leel _TV on Twitter.
Y'all know what it is. Tune in.
And when can they catch a show?
We just any day. You feel me? It's when the sun rises and we feeling good, we push out. You know, we consistent with it. So definitely check it out. We always got content dropping and we get it popping, as always.
Got you. And we got my guy, self-proclaimed GOAT, sports reporter without pay. On Facebook, sports reporter without pay on Facebook's SRWOP1 on Twitter. And you got Instagram, Ray?
I do. I don't be using that, man. I don't be on
Instagram
like that, dog. Hey, dog, don't be trying to play me like that, dog. Talking about no self-proclaimed. Y'all labeled me the GOAT. Y'all know what it is. I ain't starting. All y'all.
Who is y'all?
All y'all. You included Tyree, big guard. Say it again.
Here we go, man. All right, look, ladies and gentlemen, we'll bring this back. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want it. But, hey, I appreciate y'all guys.
I give him another title shot to get back his title anytime.
All right. So, on that note.
It's a rematch clause in there. He should be a rematch clause.
Rematch clause.
I got him.
Okay. I feel
if his sports knowledge was as high as his confidence, he'd be a bad man. I promise.
Listen, man. Listen, I know sports, brother. You can come on my show. You're welcome anytime to come on in the huddle.
Mike's the GOAT because I said I'm gonna take you up on that. By the way, Mike's the GOAT because I said so. Man, you ain't asked where the people can find me. You know what it is, man. Sports Arena live Mondays and Wednesdays, 10 o'clock on Facebook.
You'll be on there tomorrow night. Blow the whistle. All right, man. So look, I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. We'll see y'all next time. I got something coming out tomorrow too as well. Holla.